ever find yourself stumbling when someone asks, "How's the market?" or struggling to confidently explain why you're the best choice as their agent, in this video, Tom Ferry shares 7 scripts to help you tackle these challenges head on. From handling objections to offering innovative pricing strategies, these scripts will boost your confidence and win you more business. Let's dive in.
Today, I want to give you 7 different scripts that will up your confidence and help you win more business, whether that's getting a price reduction on a high-end listing or answering the #1 question you get every single day that most agents totally whiff. Why don't we just start there? Think about it. If I asked you, as you're running around throughout the day, whether you're going to Starbucks or you're out and about or you're on the soccer field with your friends, what's the one question you get all the time? Hey, how's the real estate market? Well, my question is, as you stop to think about it right now, how do you respond to that? Now, if you're well-trained as a Tom Ferry client, we both know that there's an appropriate way to answer that and allow you to lead the prospect to whatever is most interesting to them. Here's how the script goes. You ready? You put a big smile on your face when they say, how's the market? You say, it really depends. Are you interested in buying, selling, investing, or renting?
This is gold. By clarifying the prospect's intent, you're not just answering a question, you're opening the door to a meaningful conversation. It's a master stroke of turning curiosity into opportunity.
Each one of the markets is very different. Which part of the market are you most interested in? Let me give it to you again. They say, how's the market? Rather than saying, it's great, which is a stupid thing to say. Did you hear what I just said? It is a stupid thing to say because where do you go from there? Hey, how's the market? Great. Okay, thanks. And they walk off and they go find their phone and they start looking for data. Instead, if you say, it really depends. Are you looking to buy, sell, invest, or rent? Because, each one of the markets is very different right here locally. I'm curious, which part of the market are you most interested in and how can I help? Well, gosh, Tom, we were actually thinking about selling my mother-in-law's place because she's getting a little bit older. Well, gosh, why don't we? And boom, you're in the game. But see, if you answer the question, great, or worse, some people will actually do this.
Such a relatable moment. Who hasn't seen someone fumble this question? Tom's insight here underscores the importance of preparation. Confidence is built on having the right tools ready.
Hey, how's the market? God, it's been a really rough start. Can you think of a worse thing to say to a prospect? Look, if you're like me and you are putting out content, more and more people are getting to know you. You could just be wearing your company name badge. You could have your laptop open at Starbucks that just has your company logo and brand on it, and someone's gonna say, hey, how's the market? Which means they're prospecting you. Don't blow that situation. Let's go to script number 2. And again, these are gonna be, I'm bouncing here. Do you ever get the objection, why should I list with you versus the competition? Now, whether you're a new agent or a veteran, the script is going to be the same. So, do you ever get the objection? Why should we list with you versus the competition? Here's the ultimate answer. Well, we sell twice as many properties, we sell them 3 times faster, and we sell them for 2.7% more money on average with a 96.5 5-star review on Zillow. Is that the type of results you're looking for?
The numbers don't lie. Leveraging stats gives you credibility and helps establish trust. A must when competing against other agents.
Let me give it to you again. We sell twice as many properties. Now again, you're going to modify the numbers. Ready? Clearly you want to articulate your stats. So let me give it to you. Ready? How many properties do you or your company sell versus the competition? If you're a new agent, go to your manager and ask. Number 2, you or your company's average days on market versus the competition, versus the MLS. What is your number? What is the MLS number? And that's the number you want to share. You or your company's average list to sell percentage, the average list to sell percentage, again, you versus the competition. If you're one of my veteran agents, this is a standard way that you create a more, let's call it quantitative approach between you and your competition, right? Let the data speak to why they should work with you versus just we like each other and we're friendly, because most agents are. So the data becomes the degree of separation. And then the last one is your company's combined number of reviews, you or your company's, versus the competition. So when I take all that into account, then when someone says, well, why should I list with you versus the competition? Or, we're thinking about another broker. Well, I just wanted to remind you that we sell twice as many properties. We sell them 3 times faster. And what makes a lot of people nervous when they hear how fast we sell properties, they always think, oh, you must sell them for less. Well, actually, we get 2.7% more on average because of the listing, launch, and marketing plan that we follow. And we get 96% of every client we work with gives us a 5-star review on Zillow or Realtor or whoever you use. So is that the kind of results you're looking for? Now, again, my friend, here's the thing. What you say matters, and the way you say matters. If you have tremendous confidence when you say that, if your body's in alignment, if your eyes are, in the right place, if you're not doing this while you're talking to people, you're gonna win. So let's do another one. You ready? I love this one. How many ways can you price a property? So more specifically, when you go on an appointment, and let's say that you're competing against multiple agents or just one, you and I both know most agents basically walk in and say, here's the comps, let's look at them together. Then they look at the seller and say, what do you want to price the property at?
Love this shift. Tom's 3 pricing strategy isn't just unique, it's practical. Offering options helps sellers feel in control and showcases your expertise.
And look, that is a strategy. And when the market's going like this, that's certainly an opportunity. Now, if you're in the higher end or the, call it the second move up price point, you know that market is not as fast. And if I'm in that first time seller market, this script also applies. So here's what I want you to consider. If most agents walk in and say, here's the comps, what do you think? What if you said, for example, most agents offer a one-size-fits-all pricing strategy based upon the comps and the data that we all see. So most agents offer a one-price-fits-all when it comes to looking at the data and presenting it to their clients. What we found, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, is that our savviest of clients wanted options. So we developed the only 3-price selling strategy that's been highly effective for our clients.
Brilliant approach. Not only does it set you apart, but it also positions you as a solution-oriented professional. This script alone is worth bookmarking.
So here are the 3 prices we want to discuss. Number 1, you say to me, Tom, find me the needle in the haystack. Yes, you want me to price it as high as possible, right? Looking to find that perfect buyer who's going to walk in and say, I love it. Versus number 2, fair market value, where we look at the data and we say, look, buyers are clearly paying $425 a square foot for homes in this area, and we price it basically there. Or number 3, I recommend we create a bidding war on your property. Yes, I want to price the property a little below fair market value, call it $415 a square foot as an example, and then guess what happens? Every buyer in town says, that's a deal. That's an opportunity. Every agent in town says, oh, there's Tom Ferry again. He's creating a bidding war scenario. And guess what? We can end up with 4, 5, 6, 8 offers on the property, each one trying to outbid the next, ultimately getting you the highest possible price. So I'm not really attached to which one you'd like to do, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. What I want to do is provide you options so you can get more of what you want. So what would you like to do? Now, again, a very simple script. And I always think of, clients that have texted me throughout the years or called me throughout the years and said, Tom, I did it. I was competing with another agent. I went in and said, I've got 3 different options. And here's the thing. It was just different. It was different. Everybody else was doing the same thing. When you come in with something different, you create an immediate degree of separation, making you stand out against the competition. Ready? Let's go to the next script. Number 4 on my list, more for my higher end clients. So if your average sales price is lower, you can just with your finger and just skip right past it. But listen to this. It's a really powerful dialogue. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we run a more intelligent, data-driven business. For example, in the old market, right, referring to the old market when the higher end stuff was selling really quickly versus today, in the old market, we would launch the most comprehensive marketing strategy in our area. And the data was unbelievable. we would average 1,500 impressions online. We would get 27 parties through our initial open house and broker preview. And from that, we would produce 14 high quality showings, 6 second showings, 2 offers, 4 counters, and ultimately a closed sale and a happy client. Right? Pause. In the new market, inventory is up dramatically, buyer demand is super flat, showings are flat, offers are flat, but what's worse, when we counter, 75% of buyers don't respond to our counter. They simply move on to another property. They simply move on to another property. There's just so many options for buyers in this price range. So the question is, what does this tell you about today's buyer psychology when it comes to this average sales price?
This pause is everything. It gives clients time to reflect, and the data-backed reasoning positions you as the expert they need.
Long pause. Or how should we then proceed when it comes to pricing or responding to offers? Now, here's the point. I know there was a lot of words there, and you're going to see them obviously going across the bottom here. The point is, in dealing with certain customers, and again, I always think of like the higher end client who, whether they perceive it, act like it, believe it, think it, or you do, they think they're smarter, right? They think they know the market better than everybody else. If you can come in with more data, right? More of a mathematical approach where you can articulate how you do business, right? There's going to be a different level of respect from the person that says, look, we're going to price it, we're going to do an open house, we're going to do all these things, and I really love you, and you guys are the best, and please list with me, right? I'm trying to give you confidence to create degrees of separation. Let's go to the next one. Number 5. You probably never heard this one before. Another agent said they can get us more.
Tom nails it here. Handling this objection with confidence and transparency shows clients that you're both realistic and reliable, a winning combo.
Now, one of our great coaches and longtime friends, Randy Ora, is the first person that gave us this line, and it has been priceless in the Tom Ferry ecosystem. So you're on a listing appointment and they say, gosh, Brandon, another agent we just met with said they can get us so much more money. He would say, I could line up 1,000 agents outside your door. And since we're all looking at the same exact data, we're all going to basically price it, between 1 or 2 percentage points, because we're all looking at what buyers are actually willing to pay for the property. So if an agent will come in and price the home way up here just to win the listing, you've got to ask yourself, what's their real motivation? What are they really trying to accomplish? The data is the data. The science is the science. What buyers see today is exactly what you and I are looking at. And no buyer is going to walk in today and pay this when fair market value is here. So my question is, what would you like to do? Again, just another dialogue. And I know you're going to download all these. They're going to be right here on my YouTube channel. They're going to be right on tomferry.com. So you're going to have access to all of this. My point is, this will probably be one of those videos that you're just going to want to listen to over and watch over and over and over to suck in these good dialogues and have them become yours. Don't be attached to modifying or tweaking or adjusting or making it sound more like you. My point is, we don't want to be in the moment of truth not knowing what to say. We always want to be armed with lots of good dialogues so we have confidence, so we demonstrate like your attorney would, or a doctor would, or in some crisis situation, heaven forbid in the ER, you don't want the doctor going, I don't know what to do in this situation, right? We can't be in that same situation, not when we're talking about buyers and sellers and their most important asset, and your business. So let's go to number 6. A little price reduction script for our high-end clients. Ready? So you want to start by asking for a meeting to review the process, right? You want to take them through all of the numbers and provide a comprehensive market update. In many cases, when we're talking to our high-end clients, I'll say to them, when you go back and ask for a price reduction, it's almost like you're going back to relist the house because you're going back through the comps at that level of detail, right? So then you want to say, so here's what we have to decide. Right now, the agents in the marketplace, right? The overall market, and most importantly, the buyers have rejected our price. What would you like to do? What would you like to do? That simple script with a long pause and shutting up afterwards has helped so many high-end clients get $10,000 price reductions, $100,000 price reductions, $2 or $3 or $4 or $5, $10 million price reductions, depending upon some of these crazy list prices. So let me give it to you again. So after we've reviewed all this, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, whoever you're talking to, here's what we have to decide. Right now, the agents in the marketplace, the overall market, and most importantly, the buyers have rejected our price. What would you like to do? And you just shut up. What would you like to do? And you just shut up. And here's the deal. I can think of 1,000 mega successful clients in Beverly Hills, New York City, Aspen, Munich, Germany, Sydney, Australia. I know what you're going to say to me, Tom, but my seller, I want to remind you, if they have really low motivation, their price is really high. If they have really high motivation, they don't drop the price down here, but at least it comes to here. So you got to gut check yourself. Why do you have that listing if they don't really want to sell? The world doesn't need another home on the market that's never going to sell. You with me on this? All right, let's do the last one, number 7. The 4 questions that every agent should have memorized and burned into your brain. You might even want to tattoo it on your arm, put it on your iWatch, whatever you want to do. But there's 4 questions that if your desire is to list a lot of properties, if your desire is to always have lots of opportunity in the funnel, you're always going to ask every person you meet 4 questions. Question number 1, you know it. Hey, Brandon, I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? How you doing? What's new? What's this? Hey, got to ask, have you been watching the market at all? And everybody says the same thing. Oh, of course, what's going on with housing, right? Oh my God, what's going to happen, right? Hey, I got to ask, have you had any thoughts of selling? Have you had any thoughts of selling? And you may notice if you're watching this that I'm smiling and nodding because it's better to nod yes than to do this. Have you had any thoughts of selling? Right, that wouldn't be good. Question number 2, one of my all-time favorite questions. Are you living in your dream home now? Are you living in your dream home now? And you know what? People will say, I've got no thoughts of selling. And then I say, are you living in your dream home now? They're like, no. As a matter of fact, we like a little more, we like a little less, we like to be a little closer, we want to be in this school district, that school district. And all of a sudden now, there's an opportunity. Then I asked number 3, hey, at what price, now or in the future, would you consider selling? At what price, now or in the future, would you consider selling? Well, Tom, if you could get us X, at that point we could rationalize it because we then make the move to Y, right? You're getting them to work through the process versus just be a no. And then the last one is, if all fails, do you know anyone who's thinking about selling? Do you know anyone who's thinking about selling? And a fun one for some of you on the higher end is, do you know anyone that tried to sell in the past and it didn't work out? That's a great question for my high-end clients. Now, I give you all of that with the hope that you will now do one thing. Role play. Think about it. How often do you role play? How often do you practice? To me, it's interesting when you look at sports and life, and whether it's, my attorney or a doctor or an airline pilot, and I don't know why I did this for an airline pilot, right? A race car driver, maybe that's more appropriate. When you talk to all these other professionals, every single one of them talks about the discipline of practice, right? An airline pilot has to go back to class for 2 weeks every year, even though they might be flying the same 737 they've been flying forever, because they make little adjustments. They want to keep them sharp. They want to keep them fresh. Now, I would argue this. If you're with me right now on this video and you're not role playing, I know why. I know why. It's weird, it's awkward, it's embarrassing, or you're saying, oh, Tom, I don't need to do that. I like to show up with clients and just see what happens. Well, I don't know about you. There is too much at stake. There's too much revenue to be made, and there's too many clients that need to be served by an absolute pro. And what I know is this: professionals practice, and that's how they got there.
From shifting the narrative on common questions to creating separation with innovative strategies, these scripts are game changers for any real estate agent. Confidence isn't just about knowing what to say. It's about saying it with authority and authenticity. Start practicing these scripts today and watch your business grow. Which script will you try first?